thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend this talk about MIGTEX, or maybe not exactly talk, but webinar. So it's a hands-on kind of thing that we're going to do for the next hour or so. So what, before we actually go into the details about LaTeX, so what is the purpose of actually learning LaTeX? Why like some of your supervisors or even like myself, why we would actually recommend you to learn LaTeX? So I'll just give you a scenario. So this is like a journal paper. This is a cogent engineering. So when I did my PhD, also my supervisor, one of the first things he asked me to learn in my first 2 weeks or so of my PhD is, can you learn how to use LaTeX? So me also, I because I did my masters using Word. I'm surprised. Okay, why do I have to learn this weird kind of typesetting software? Okay, so later on, like why exactly like LaTeX is useful? Okay, what, let's say it also depends on your field as well. If, for example, you are doing a PhD in maths, computer science, engineering, or like any field that has lots of symbols, lots of maths, lots of different kind of notations, then these kind of documents, like if you see here, this is one of the papers I worked on a few years back. So there is too much maths. Like I think there is less sentences. There's more of maths actually, more equations, more formulas, and more derivations as well. So if you look at textbooks, maths textbooks, the authors, they don't write the textbook using Word. Usually, if it's a maths textbooks, engineering textbooks, the author would usually use LaTeX as well. That's one of the common like consensus in the scientific community. Anything with symbols, anything with notations, maths, derivations, mathematical proofs. Usually, LaTeX is the way to go, because if you if you were to do this in Word, one thing is going to take forever. Another thing is that you're going to notice you're going to have problems with alignment. You're going to have problems like one with tabs, and then you're also going to have problems about with the spacing. So LaTeX gives you more control, especially if you want to do this kind of maths, this kind of document preparations. Okay, that's one thing. One thing is the ease of using LaTeX to create this type of documents which have lots of mathematical formulas, symbols. Another recommendation. Okay, why it's a good idea to learn LaTeX. So let's say you have done your research, and then you have written a paper, you have a draft. So and let's say you want to submit your draft, your manuscript to a conference. So let's say you want to submit to IEEE, either an IEEE conference or an IEEE journal. Commonly, what you will see is, okay, they provide you a template. They provide you a Microsoft Word template, and they also provide you a LaTeX template as well. Most of the big conferences, the big journals, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, what else? Elsevier, all these big publishers, they also provide a LaTeX template as well. So we can see like the direction is using Microsoft Word. It's becoming less important, or less convenient to use as compared to LaTeX. And another advantage is, let's say, okay, you submitted to an IEEE journal, and then your paper got rejected, and then you want to try with Taylor and Francis, for example. You want to try with another publisher. So migrating, let's say, the paper that you have already written using LaTeX, that you submitted to IEEE using their format, when you want to shift, or when you want to change the format to adhere to the second publisher, Taylor and Francis, Wiley, for example, it's very easy. It's very easy to do that switch. If you are using a Microsoft Word template in using in the IEEE, and you want to migrate to Taylor and Francis, or you want to migrate to Wiley, their template, is going to be a headache. You have to like do a lot of formatting work. You have to adjust the alignment. You have to change maybe the spacing. But with LaTeX, it's a very easy shift to change or to adapt to the different template, because you just have to do some minor changes only. Then you will get the Taylor and Francis full format, or the Wiley full format based on that IEEE template that you had worked previously. So it's easy to switch between the formats that different publishers would like. So those are the main advantages actually for learning LaTeX. It's going to help you when you want to submit papers later on. So in UIA, some students have already used LaTeX for their PhD, for their master's thesis. Just that at this point, not yet. We don't have our Center of Postgraduate Studies. We don't have an official IIUM thesis template in LaTeX yet. We don't have it yet. There have been some discussions, but it hasn't. I don't think it has materialized yet. But some of the senior students who have graduated, they have prepared their thesis in LaTeX. And preparing a thesis in LaTeX also, it has an advantage as well. You're going to have less issues, although it might take some time to learn about how to use LaTeX. But at the end of the day, you're going to notice that your thesis, especially the spacing, the font, the alignment, is going to be very beautiful. LaTeX is used to make beautiful documents. So even if, let's say, your thesis doesn't really have much equations, much symbols, still you have the benefit of LaTeX when you want to do your final thesis formatting at the end of the day. It's easy to adjust, for example, the tab, the left margins, the right margins, all that in LaTeX, because LaTeX, you are kind of creating your document using programming, so you have more control about how you want to play around with the like left margin, right margin, those kind of things. Okay, so before we move along, I want to ask, does it make sense to you? What is the motivation? How LaTeX can actually be useful for you? Is that part clear?
Yes.
All right, nice. Okay, so I'll move along. What we're going to do. So there is two things that we're actually going to kind of like install. So we're going to install MakeText. So MakeText actually, we are going to install MakeText, but most of the time when we do our typing work, when you prepare your article, you're going to be dealing with TextWorks. TextWorks and MakeText, they are dependable on each other actually. You cannot let's say if you try to install TextWorks only, you're not going to be able to write your documents, because TextWorks is dependable on MakeText. You need to have MakeText in order to run TextWorks, but we are going to use TextWorks for our daily writing, for our document preparation. So TextWorks, if you want to simplify, TextWorks is only a text editor. But in order to actually make it work, you have to actually install what we call a distribution. This distribution is known as MakeText. So what we're going to do now, what I want you guys to do, so I'm not sure if maybe some of you have installed it already, some of you haven't installed yet, but I'll guide you through the installation. So in this second slide, I want you guys to go to this URL, maketext.org, download. Just put it in the chat box as well. I want you guys to go to this link. Where's chat? Oh, here, sorry. We keep migrating from Microsoft Teams to Google. So, okay. I want you guys to go to this link, text.download. So I also will go to this link. Okay. Getting MakeText. Okay. So these are the different options. So if you have a Mac, if you have a Linux, if you have a Mac Linux, okay. I'm going to be using Windows for this webinar. So you have, under Windows, we have an installer. So to install a basic LaTeX system on Windows, download and run this installer. Because I believe most of you will be predominantly Windows user. Maybe if you're a computer science kind of guy, maybe you're more comfortable with Linux. So it's slightly different how it works. But for today, I want you guys to download and install MakeText. If you download here, you will get a basic dash MakeText 21.12.exe, an executable file. So I want you guys to download the executable file. Okay, when it completes its download, you will see this box, and then because we are at their mercy, okay, just accept all their conditions. I accept the MakeText copying conditions. But firstly, get the executable file. run that executable file and just agree to whatever terms and conditions that they have set for us. Okay, so mine, depending on your internet speed, you would have downloaded the executable file. So this is the executable file. Okay, and then just accept the conditions and then click on next, and then you will be guided for the installation. So me, in my case, I already have LaTeX inside my laptop. So it should be, if I download and run this, it's going to overlap with my existing installation. So I want you guys to just click next. Then installation, if you reach installation scope, choose the first option, install LaTeX only for me, user. Okay. And then that will start the installation. So I'll give you guys about a couple, maybe a minute or so to just download the executable file, run the executable file. If another window pops up, choose install LaTeX only for me. So far it's okay because online is difficult. If it's face to face, I can go around, walk around, and see how you guys are doing. So, up to this point, is it okay? If you have you received this prompt, install LaTeX only for me. All right, nice. So if for example you get stuck, because maybe different computers might respond differently. So if you get stuck, just stop me. Just on your mic, just turn on your mic, stop me. Then I'll be able to guide you. Because online is a bit challenging. This kind of courses like online is a bit hard. It's easy if I can see your computers and what you're clicking on. All right. So this is another important thing. You're going to have to choose, when you click next, you're going to have to choose an installation directory. So it will be somewhere on your C drive, C user programs /LaTeX. Just agree to that. Next. And then you will be prompted to choose what is your preferred paper size. There's two paper size, either A4 or letter. Journals, usually, most journals, they will use A4. I have seen some journals that want letter as well. That one, so that you need to adjust your properties later on. But predominantly, most journals use A4 size paper. And then install missing packages on the fly, ask me first. So LaTeX, you can think of LaTeX because LaTeX, TextWorks, these are all open source softwares, open source modules. So they are built, or the functions of LaTeX is based on packages which were developed by open source community. So maybe like when you're typing your document, suddenly you're prompted, oh, you need this package, or you have a certain symbol in order to display that symbol, or you need another package. So you will be prompted from time to time to install some packages. So this option here is just telling whenever a package needs to install, do you want to be notified first or not? It's better if you just leave it, ask me first, so that you know what's going on, what packages are being installed, what do you have, what do you don't have. Okay, so before we move along, okay, up to this box installation, is it okay for you guys? Anyone got stuck?
It's fine so far.
All right, nice. Okay, I'll keep going. Let's go here. What's happened? The next slide. Okay, so we want to review our settings. So at this point, if you have reached up to this point, that means that LaTeX, you have already given all the necessary information for LaTeX to start the installation. So you will have a summary of what options that you have already agreed. So what you have already agreed so far, you have already told LaTeX where is the directory that LaTeX is going to be saved inside your computer. Usually it would be somewhere in your C drive, somewhere C local programs, then you have LaTeX. either this same directory or slightly different directory on your computer. You would also, just now we also agreed to install MikTeX only for the current user. That is usually, almost always that's the case. Almost always that's the case for everyone. Preferred paper size is A4. Another option is letter. Some journals, some strange, weird journals also use letter. But then we are sticking to A4. Predominantly, most journals use a A4 paper size. And then packages will be installed after confirmation by user. From time to time, definitely you will be prompted to install some packages to maybe a certain type of font, maybe a certain type of typesetting of the document that the journal wants. So maybe you need a certain package to achieve that. So in this case, you are being told whenever a package is going to be added on to your MikTeX, you will be told about it. Some people, they just want to, they don't bother, so they would have selected the other option. Okay, just whatever is necessary, just install it. Now, don't ask me. Okay, you should see this window. So after you see this, next one, okay, after you click start, then you're going to be starting the installation. This is going to take some time, maybe depending on your computer, depending on your internet, maybe about 3 to 4 minutes or so. This is the actual installation of MikTeX onto your computer. Just now we were just giving the information. This is gonna take some time, so you're gonna see installation overall progress. Maybe I'll give you guys about maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and this is gonna take some time. At any point, if you get stuck, just let me know. I hope maybe next semester, if you have face-to-face classes, like it's easy, you know, we can have more everything in one venue. Inshallah, I mean, if you're doing a PhD masters in computer science, I think your supervisor would have asked you to learn using MikTeX or maths. Okay, so if probably your installation is still running, but what's going to happen after this is that you would have had another window popping up saying that you have completed your MikTeX setup. You've completed. So once you have completed your MikTeX setup, there is anything else? Okay, there is a few more things for us to do. But I'll give you maybe like some of you, if you have a very powerful laptop or computer, this will be very fast for you. Some of you maybe you need some more time, so maybe I'll give you guys another minute or so.
Dr. Jaslan, while waiting for the installation, may I ask one question?
Sure, sure.
Is it really matters whether we install MikTeX first or text first, since it's
Okay.
dependable on each other, kan?
Okay.
Is
Okay, that's a good point actually. It's true. Textbooks and MikTeX, they're dependable on each other. But if you install Textworks first, because Textworks is like if you do that, you're just going to see you're just going to install some files. But like MikTeX is the controlling program. It gives the directive. It's regulating the other software actually. So if you install TextWorks first, then you install MikTeX, it's not going to work. You have to install MikTeX first. Inside MikTeX, what's going to happen is that it has we call it TextWorks is also going to be installed as well when you install MikTeX.
I see. So it is advisable to install MikTeX first, is it?
Yes, MikTeX first, yes. And then MikTeX, because it's the program that's regulating everything, MikTeX, when you install MikTeX, you're also going to install TextWorks as well. In the earlier version, like 10 years ago, you had to install MikTeX, and then you have to install TextWorks, and then you had to do some like configuration. But now, like the newer version, especially this latest version of MikTeX, when you install MikTeX, you should also see TextWorks as well inside your drop-down menu. So I think this is the first and last time you're going to see MikTeX. After you do installation, you're going to just see TextWorks only.
I see. Thank you, Doctor.
So you guys just want to ask, have you has this part completed? If you have completed your installation, this next box here is going to be clickable. You can click next. If it's still like installing, the next is still going to be gray. If it's already completed, the next is going to be blue. So sometimes like maybe the installation bar it's not clear. Is it fully installed or not installed? But if as long as this next box is clickable, that means you're good to go. Okay. So has it already been installed? Has this part been completed on your side? Most of you, or still ongoing? I think maybe it takes some time. So let's say if you've already completed installation, if you click next, what's going to happen? You're going to see this box completing the MikTeX setup wizard. If you're rich, if your supervisor gives you like an additional allowance, you can donate to MikTeX. Tell me more. If you're like your grant, you have a big grant, you know. But usually PG student, like you want to conserve, save money. Think back in the good old days, if you're a PG student, you get to travel, you get to go for conferences, you get to go to Langkawi. Now PKP, so maybe we just go to Langkawi online. So up to here, you guys okay or still still installing? This one depend on each different machine, I think. Okay, Iqmal, okay. Iqmal always steady, you know, Iqmal. It's Iqmal. How about the rest of you guys? Haziq, okay? Haziq, I think my for meeting got. Let's see who else is here. Okay, so I haven't got the chance to meet you guys. Let's see who else participants. Okay, who else do we have? 17 others. 21 icon. Which 21 icon? Okay, Google Meet. Okay, good. Google Meet, and then click where this one. Oh, and the right one. Bottom. Oh, this one. Oh, okay, this one. This is everyone. Okay, so we have. What else do we have? Kak As pun ada. Oh, season pro pun ada. Oh, I thought macam specialist is already khatam. Okay, good. Okay, in case I get stuck, okay, I have backup. Okay, no, I'm not so concerned. Okay, would we have okay. One Faizal, one asked me, bukan, oh, you're doing masters. You're doing PhD. Some familiar names.
I'm UTM.
Oh, UTM. Okay, what are you doing now?
PhD.
PhD. Oh, you
In
did your
mathematics.
bachelor's in UIA?
Yes.
Oh, why did you menyimpang to mathematics? Why not stay engineering all the way?
Try other field.
Try other field. Okay, explore.
Yes.
In your first year, second year, third year?
This is my third sem after defend my proposal already.
Oh, okay. What is your research
I
about?
did about fluid mechanics, modeling, mathematical modeling for fluid mechanics.
Oh, okay. Are you using any like software like ANSYS or any
I'm using Maple. I'm using Maple.
Maple?
Ah,
Okay.
yes.
You dealing like with like partial differential equations?
Ah, yes. Laplace transform. I
Oh,
do it like
okay.
that. Just try the new field.
UTM Johor or UTM KL?
UTM JB. I did
Skudai.
my
Okay.
master also in UTM JB also.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think okay. I think you guys should have been installed. So if you've already completed installation, just go to close. Okay. Next important part. If you have completed your installation and then you get this box, MikTeX has been successfully installed. Okay. In order to obtain an up-to-date installation, it is recommended that you allow MikTeX to check for updates now. So the next step after installation, the next step we're going to install check for updates. Okay, that's important. So maybe this is one of the one of the annoying things about open source software. You want to always like update. If you are using like an expensive software that is premium and paid, then maybe you don't need all these small steps. But now this MikTeX, because it's an open source, it's developed by an open source community. We have to after installing, we have to check for updates. You can think of it like an antivirus software. So if you check for updates, if you click next on this box, you're going to see this box, MikTeX console, and then you're going to see one box here, check for updates. You need to click that check for updates, and then you're going to see like there's a whole long list of updates are going to appear. Some updates are optional, some updates are compulsory. So you're going to see that. You're going to see, okay. So if you have completed installation, the next check is check for updates. Checking for updates is important. In the good old days, postgraduate student association, and we will also have food as well whenever we have these kind of talks. So there will be like coffee, and then there will be like kueh. But now like online, like you just have to find biscuits in your fridge or something. Ke Iqmal, maybe Iqmal can usahakan. Maybe Iqmal can can get arrange for apa Grab food. PGSS has no money can for Grab money. Like when I did PhD, like they had what they call, because I did PhD Australia, so they had the Malaysian embassy, Malaysian consulate. What they did, they had this academic coffee session. So all the postgraduate students get together. Everyone presents about what their research is about, what they are doing. So then. When we were presenting like our research, what we are doing, then we realized, oh, actually we can help each other. Oh, like this guy, he's presenting his work, or he needs to use Python, for example. Then in our group, oh, we have another guy who already knows Python. So one thing good about presenting your work to others is that each of you, when you know what each other is working on, you know how to help each other as well. Okay. So updates. Okay, up to this point, okay, because I cannot see your screens. Up to this point, are you guys okay? Do you see when you clicked on update? Like when I did this yesterday, updates, I got 100 updates. Um, up to this point, is it okay? If everything is okay up to this point, I want you guys to click update now. So maybe you'll see a long list, and you see like this different updates, and then some are required, some are optional. Never mind, whatever. Even if it's required, optional, just update now. Follow the recommended update list. Okay. So up to this point, are you guys okay? So let's say if you have already updated, updated all these packages, when yesterday when I did this, it prompted me to update 100 packages. Some are required, some are optional. Never mind, I just go with the flow. If you have already completed this step, what you're going to notice that you would have already completed your MakeText installation. Not only would you have already completed your MakeText installation, you would have also completed the MakeText update as well. So there's two parts. You want to install everything, and you want to update. You want to make sure that everything is up to date as well. Why you have to make sure everything is up to date? Because we are using a free software. So when you have done that, what you're going to notice when you go to your start button, Windows. I assume everyone Windows for today. I assume everyone using Windows. If you're using Linux, I think you have to separate course. Okay. Then you would have seen a new MakeText, new option. And you have, if you look at the drop down menu, you have two things. You have MakeText console and you have TextWorks as well. Should be, I think, should be TextWorks as well. So you should have MakeText appears in your start start menu. Then you have MakeText console and TextWorks should be there. I hope TextWorks is there as well. Okay. So up to this point, up to this updating point, is it okay for you guys so far?
Okay, sir.
All right. So when you turn on your start button, your Windows start button, and then when you go to MakeText, do you also see TextWorks appearing as well?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So if you have done this, and then you see, okay, TextWorks, then you see everything should be new as well. New MakeText is new, MakeText console new, TextWorks also. Because mine is not new because I've used it before, but you should also see TextWorks new. If you have that, then it means that okay, everything is there. Everything is there, and then we can start writing our article. You can start writing your first LaTeX article. Okay. So what I'm going to do, so I think I shared the link with you guys. I think I shared in my Google Drive. So I'll just put it again in the chat box. Drive. I have a template. So this is just a template. You can always, the good thing about LaTeX, you can always just copy and paste your whatever article you have written and then adapt to the template given by another journal. So I'll just go here. Where is LaTeX workshop? I think I made this accessible. So I want you guys, whatever that was inside this folder, I want you guys to download and save it somewhere in your computer. So somewhere here. Drive. Accessible. Maybe you can have one folder, you can call it, I call this folder for submission, meaning that the how it works, because like Word, Microsoft Word, okay, you have one journal article, only one file, all your images are inside there, all your references is already inside there. But when you want to submit, when you prepare an article in LaTeX and you want to submit to the journal, you're not going to submit one file. You're going to submit one, I think, one main file, which has all your text of the article that you are writing. You're also going to submit your figures as well. You're also, what else are you going to submit? There are also some document class files, the files that actually dictate the format or the layout of the article. So you're going to submit multiple files. So usually when we submit to a journal, we put everything inside one folder, we either zip or not zip it, and then we send it, we upload on the journal website. So you're going to be submitting more than one file. So it's slightly different from Word. Word is single file and you're done. Okay. So when you guys, whatever that's in this file, download, save it somewhere. Okay. Maybe, okay, you might ask, okay, I'm promoting, okay, LaTeX is easy to write equations. It's okay, convenient. References also you can easily put into LaTeX. But actually, LaTeX has, I think, it has one disadvantage as well. I'm not sure with whether other LaTeX user like us, whether you agree or not. Okay, there is one drawback maybe that I feel. I don't know, maybe for others it's okay. But one drawback I feel, LaTeX, it's like the advantage of Word is that let's say you are writing, you're typing straight away. You can see how, like, let's say you're writing something and you're thinking, you can straight away type, and then like you can see how it looks immediately. LaTeX, you have to type your article inside TextWorks first, and then you have to compile, and it generates a PDF file. Then only you see how your article looks. So let's say if you're like looking at the screen and then you're thinking what to write, thinking what to do. If you're that kind of person, some users actually they like to use both for thinking, for like planning what to write. Okay, they use Word first, and then when they want to submit, they copy paste whatever they have written in Word into LaTeX. Because you can see like Microsoft Word, everything in real time. Whatever you are typing, like I say A B C D, whatever you are typing, you can see it in real time. You don't have to compile. For those who are like very used to LaTeX, they can open the TextWorks screen and then they are comfortable with it. But some of you, maybe you're not comfortable with like a programming looking kind of user interface. You want to see like, how is my article going to look like? Then maybe Word, maybe even using a combination of Word with LaTeX also might be more helpful. You know? So I think, okay, let's say you have already downloaded all these files inside this Google Drive. So I'll just show you how we can prepare a LaTeX document. So if you go to TextWorks, if you go under Make Text, you have TextWorks. If you click on TextWorks, okay, then you see this untitled -1.txt, and then you see this. There is a arrow button, a play button. This is the compile button. Well, after typing your article inside this TextWorks, so this is where you're going to type your article together with maybe some kind of code looking sentences for all those symbols, for all those math equations. All the typing goes here. So this is usually the left side of your screen. On the right side of your screen, after you compile your article, you're going to see immediately you're going to see a PDF generated document, which shows how your article is going to look. So it's a bit messy, like you're writing here and then you have to compile, and only after you compile you see how your final article looks like. So if you're like thinking, if you're using LaTeX and you're still thinking about what to write, you're not sure what to write, then maybe like the flow of ideas is not really there for some of you. Like for me, I like Word because like I can see in real time, okay, how is my article going to look like? Okay, so if your text works already okay, you have a few options on this top button here. You'll see like PDF LaTeX plus make index plus big text. You're gonna see this option here. So there are a few options. You can maybe in your default installation it put you on PDF text, PDF or PDF LaTeX. These are all the other options. But what I want you to choose PDF LaTeX plus make index plus big text. Choose this option. This is going to give us what we need to write our article. So if you have already chosen PDF plus make index plus big text, so you would have already saved whatever that was inside this directory somewhere inside your computer. So we're going to actually run the file. We're actually going to run this file. So you need like we're going to make sure the directory of LaTeX is the same directory where all of these files are located. All these files inside and when you use LaTeX, the images, the supplementary files, all of them have to be inside one folder, and you have to run LaTeX at that directory corresponding to that folder, so that all the information is there. If not, LaTeX wouldn't know. Okay, you have an image, but where is the image located? Okay, just for the sake, for example, I'll just show you. Okay, go to File, and then go to Open. Okay, so in my case, the for submission folder, I put it here. I put C user, I put it here. So this is my desktop, semester 2. Okay, and then I have this folder. So for submission. So if you have clicked on this folder, there is a template _1. This is a text document. So this text document, it has we say like it's dependable files. You need to also have the figures. You need also to have the supplementary files. Or in order for this template one to run correctly, there will be error. So if I click on template one, open. Okay, it opens up. It opens up my the code, not the code, but the text of the document of the manuscript. And on the left, you're going to see everything in LaTeX. These are all the LaTeX style of preparing the document. And on your right, you're going to see how your manuscript is going to look when you have completed. So on your right, this is AIMS. This is one of the journals, one of the publishers. So they give a template. So I just followed this template. So if, for example, okay, I want to change, for example, from one publisher to another publisher, usually it's the first few lines where you actually have to modify. So what the publisher did, this company or this publisher, AIMS, I think American Institute of Mathematical Sciences or something like that, they have created their own template, LaTeX template, and then they called it AIMS. So the very first line, I put \document class AIMS. What this means is that I'm using their template. AIMS, they have already created the template. I'm just using their template. So that's the first line, document class. Okay. So you can scroll down. You can see like this is a document prepared in LaTeX. You can see the figures, and then the bottom there's some maths, and then there's some graphs, and then towards the end, so when I have these references of the whole paper. And another thing you can see, the references, they are, is it clickable? Okay, you can see these references on this document, they have like a hyperlink. So if this is reference number 2, and I click on number 2, it's gonna bring me to where exactly this reference, the bibliography section for that reference. So that's part of big text. So we're also going to cover big text as well. So now, what I want you guys to screen start. Sorry. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, about the link, right? Okay. Both left and right. Can you see? All right. So I'll repeat about the hyperlink just now. So if you notice here, this document. So I have my introduction, and then I have my okay. For example, let's say we have here. Okay, I was doing an in-text citation number 2. So if this number 2 is has a hyperlink. So if I click on it, I'm going to the bibliography section for the reference number 2. So we also have hyperlink as well in this document. So that's about the references. We're also going to cover about references as well. So as a first exercise, so I'll just explain the first few lines. We have these other first few lines like \use package AMS math. Okay, this is one of the libraries for LaTeX to type mathematical equations. Okay, then we also have \use package graphics. This is the package in LaTeX, how we are going to insert all of these images. So to insert images, we have a package called graphics. To insert maths, we have a package AMS math. So that's what these first few lines means. Usually, when you use LaTeX, we don't really exactly need to know what each package does, because we are using a template. Usually, we just have to modify, replace all of this content with our own content. So I won't change much of this template. So what I want to do as an exercise, okay, can you guys try changing? Okay, privilege condition. Okay, if you see here at the bottom, there's \title, and then you see a long title, pavement condition analysis via bicycle mounted accelerometer data. Okay, for the first exercise, I want you guys to, the first modification that I want you guys to do to this template, can you delete this? Can you rewrite this title with the title of your master's or your PhD research? Ikma, what is the title of your PhD? Analysis of haptic exploration behavior. All right. So I already typed. Okay, this is Iqmal's PhD thesis, analysis of haptic exploration behavior. So this is the first modification I want to do. I want such that this title here, rather than pavement condition analysis, this outdated research which nobody actually read, only how many citations, two or three citations. So I'm going to change this with Iqmal's much better title, and then I want to run. Okay, let's say this is the modification I want to make. I intend to change this title, so I'm going to compile. So press play. This is PDF text version 3. Previous one is restricted. Right, 18 enable. 1 second. Oh, okay. Running, okay. You requested document, but the never mind. Okay, it prompts me for an installation. The required file could not be found. Okay, install. Whatever it prompts, okay. This is like what we did for the installation just now. Whatever package, before actually installing that package, it's prompting me to install, so I'm just going to install it. Okay, then this is what's going on. Maybe it takes some time. The longer your document, the more longer it will take to compile. Okay, and then there's another package. Okay, fine. Usually this happens when you're starting to use LaTeX. As you become more professional, like you're seasoned, you use LaTeX all the time, then you don't have to do this installation again because you've already done it before. First time will take a bit longer. Install again. Whatever it tells you to install, just install. Go with the flow. Install again. Just to change the title, I have to do all this work. If it's in Word, I can just delete. Install again. Install. That's why some people, they just tell LaTeX, okay, never mind. Don't ask me. Whatever you want to install, just go do it. No need to ask me. Install. So yeah, how many installations? You know, in next time you do, it'll be very fast. It's only because first time. Install, okay, fine. It's open source because it's free. It comes with some slight difficulties. Okay, fine. Install. install. No, just go with the flow, whatever it asks. Oh, download it and mirrors.upm.edu.my. So UPM is contributing to LaTeX as well. Mirrors.upm.edu.my C10 system. So install. Install again. Install. Okay. So I've changed my title, analysis of haptic exploration behavior. Okay. So don't worry, you won't see that kind of lengthy installation when you do this again and again. First few times you run LaTeX, yes, it's gonna be a bit slow. So what happened was when I wanted to run, I wrote my file, my content inside LaTeX, inside this TextWorks. This is where you're gonna write all your articles, all your content, all your formulas. And then when I wanted to compile to generate the PDF document, to generate the basically the output. Your input is going here into the left side of the screen into TextWorks. The output is going to be a PDF file that's generated. So we don't print this TextWorks. We're going to print the PDF file that's generated by LaTeX. So when I compiled, when I press this play button, there were some packages that were not there. There were some packages that needed to be installed, updated. So that's why we did that. We just installed all those missing packages. Then when LaTeX had all the necessary missing packages, then we were able to successfully compile the whole document and change this title. Okay, analysis of haptic exploration. So let's say, hopefully, so just for the sake of showing you that the second time things will be faster. Can I have another one of you guys? Can you tell me, other than Ikmal, can you tell me your master's or PhD topic? I just want to show you the second time what happens. Is it going to take a long time or is it going to be faster? Any one of you want to tell your PhD or master's topic? Or maybe still writing proposal. Let's see participants. Anyone I know? New names. Arif, okay, Arif, okay. Arif, what's your topic, PhD topic? Arif. Maksud. You can have one PhD topic for you guys, or any topic. Yeah, any topic. Just I want to change a few things. So I'm going to change the title, and I'm also going to change the author names as well. I'm going to change the author names, and then we're going to see. We're going to compile. I'm just going to few things. I'm going to change this document. I want to change the title. I want to change the author names, and I also want to change maybe the lab as well. International Islamic University Malaysia, maybe Department of Science or Department of maybe mechanical. I want to do a few things, change a few things, then compile. Like just now, it was like overkill just to compile. Sometimes, if you're doing a very small change, it's not worth compiling. You want to change a few things, then only compile so that it's worth the time. Because compiling, it might take some time, maybe 30 seconds or so. Can I have from you guys one title, another title. I don't want Iqmal's title, so I want to change this. And I have one of your topics. Chatbots, chatbot easy. I think when I was PhD, I also wasn't certain about my topic. Ni second year, third year. See, solution here. What do we have? Let's pick up. Okay, behavioral intention of special education teachers towards technology-based intervention. Oh, nice. See what this is about. It is a behavioral intention of special education teachers towards technology-based intervention for children with autism. Yes, that's an interesting topic. So, Muhammad Khan, is this which kuliah are you from? This I'm curious.
So I'm only of IT.
IT, okay, you're from IT. Then LaTeX is the way to go for you. Okay. Thank you very much for your topic. So I'm going to change the topic, and another few things I want to change. Okay, this is the list of authors. Ahmad Jazlan, Fahim. Okay. What I want to do, I want to change the list of authors. So I will change author. Let's change the author. So there is okay, that's the top. So at the beginning, okay, we don't really need to know much of the details, but we do need to know a bit about the LaTeX code to know where to actually input your information. Usually that's how most of us, that's how we use LaTeX. We choose a template and then we identify where exactly in the template do we put our information. Okay, so I want to change. So begin document is actually you're going to start. It's like programming as well. You're going to begin document and you're also going to end document. So begin document / make title means the title has already been created, has already been defined. You can think of it as a variable. The title is already defined at the top. So you're going to start this LaTeX this program by begin document / make title. / make title is going to reflect the / make title that we have already defined somewhere up here. Okay, this one we already defined it. So the next step is the author names. So these are these are the author names. So I'm going to change this. Okay, first author I'm going to put Muhammad Khan. Okay, Muhammad Khan. Who else? Okay, I'll just find random names from the participant list. So if your name was chosen, consider yourself like you are the chosen one. What do we have? We have Mudassir. Okay, let's see Mudassir Shaikh. Mudassir. Okay. Mudassir Shaikh. Okay. So in LaTeX, we have the symbol like Muhammad Khan. Okay. Whenever you have this $sign, that means you are in what you call mathematics mode, math mode. So in math mode, if I want to create an asterisk, like something like this, okay, Ahmad Jazlan, and I want to have this asterisk sign. This asterisk sign is what we call a superscript. Superscript is a feature, a math feature, a feature inside the math mode. So when you see this $sign, that means that you are typing a formula or you're entering the mathematics mode. So now usually this asterisk sign is if you are like the corresponding author of a paper, so you put an asterisk. So depending on the journal title, or if like you want to put a superscript 1, superscript 2, like maybe you're writing a paper, you are in UIA, you are writing the paper with another guy from UPM, for example. So superscript 1, that's the UIA. Superscript 2 is UTM, for example, or UPM. Okay. So who else do I have? Maybe I will change. Okay, I always remember who else can I randomly select? I will select Arif Rashidan as well. Arif Rashidan. Arif Rashidan. And we have who else do we have? Muhammad Hafizi. Okay, Muhammad Hafizi. Okay, center line. Backslash center line just means that I'm center justified. That's all it means. And because I think I checked in here, I didn't have enough space to write everyone's name at this line, so I added one more line at the bottom, center line. So I'll just put then maybe one more guy. One more guy. Who else can I choose? Okay, Nagma Parvin. Okay, Nagma Parvin. So you are the chosen ones. Out of all the 20-something people, I chose you guys. You should feel like you're truly blessed. All right. So what I've done, I've changed the title, I've changed the authors, and now I'm putting an address. Okay. Next thing I want to change in my template is, okay, I've changed the title, I've changed the authors. Now I want to change this side of things, the where exactly the department, your university. So let's say, okay, let's say I want to put some other lab. Okay, some other place. So let's give opportunity those who are not from UIA. Okay. What Faizal? Okay, Faizal, what's your department in UTM? What is it called? Department of Maths.
Mathematical sciences.
Mathematical Sciences. Okay, Department of Mathematical Sciences. Okay. Does your lab have like abbreviation? Like our lab, we call it SS3 S3RL. Huh? You don't have any abbreviation, just Department of Mathematical Science, right?
Yes, I do have that. I'm
Okay.
trying that, yes.
Have rebranding. I think your lab can about rebranding. All right. So if I enter line, okay, I'll just delete this because I already have Department of Mathematical Sciences. Are you under like Department of Mathematical Science, Faculty of Mathematics? Is there a faculty as well?
Faculty science.
Faculty of Science, all right. Faculty of Science. Faculty of Science. Okay. University Technology Malaysia. Okay, we're not Jalan Gubak, we are Skudai now. Skudai. It's a beautiful campus. You all should go. Now, what is the postcode for Johor? Where postcode for Skudai? Sorry.
1310.
1310. Johor, Malaysia. All right. So what am I changing so far? I've changed the title. I've changed the author names. I've changed the address of the author. So where else? Okay. So in this paper, because I had a few people working at different places, So one, like we were from UIA, then we had Asan Ghani, University of Qatar, then Victor Sriram, Australia. So we had a few people. So maybe I'll just write one more. Okay, one more author. Let's say this is UTM, and let's say I worked with someone else from another university. Let's say who else? Or maybe Saidur Rahman. And those of you from Bangladesh would know him. He's a very famous professor in renewable energy. So he's from Department of Mechanical Engineering. And then who else? Maybe Sunway University. Sunway University. PO Box. Okay, I don't know where the full address of Sunway. So I'll just put Malaysia. So this is how you edit. This is how you work with the existing template, how you edit the information. So you're just putting in your information inside into the template. So I think that's all. That's all for the first change. So I want you guys to try your own. Try that. We changed the title just now. Try playing around with the author names. Try changing the author names, and also change this address. I put one Department of Mathematical Sciences. Second one, I put Saidur Rahman, and then I put Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sunway University. So I'm going to compile this, and I hope to see changes. I hope if there is errors, you will manage to compile, and your PDF is going to stay the same. So if everything was done correctly, when you compile, when you press this play button, you're actually going to see the changes. I'm going to run this. I'm going to see if there are any changes. Should be faster this time around. All right. So I've seen the changes. Now I have a new title: Behavioral Intention of Special Education Teachers Towards Technology-Based Intervention for Children with Autism. Muhammad Khan, Mudassir Sheikh, Arif Rashidan, Nakma Parvin. Okay, you all. I just said, for the sake of this example, I just said that you guys are from Department of Mathematical Sciences, Faculty of Science and Technology, University of Technology Malaysia. And then second author, I just said, okay, this is Saidur Rahman, Mechanical Engineering, Sunway University. Others all I just kept. If you only have like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 authors, then you can just delete this, these few people. So this is just like I'm just following the template. I'm changing what was I'm replacing the information of the title and the addresses and the names with my info. All right. So then now we're going to go into the more fun stuff. So this is just the intro, the telling about the title, the author name, the author affiliation. So the more interesting stuff is the referencing that we're going to do in a while, the inserting images, and also inserting equations. Before I move along, so far you guys okay? Were you able to edit the document and compile without any errors? Oh, Sarah is here as well. It's okay, we have some new members. Right. So let's say if you compile just now and you didn't get the PDF file, you didn't get this result, then maybe there is something wrong with your LaTeX code. Maybe you accidentally put a semicolon, like programming as well. Maybe you accidentally put some space. All right. Okay. So now that we've changed our title, put our name. So I want to move along. How can we insert a reference? So that's like one of the most important things in like PhD, one of the most vital skills that we need to have. Okay, so abstract. Okay, I'll just change the abstract as well. I'll just copy something else. Maybe I will copy Malaysia News. Let's see, Malaysia Bands. Okay, I'll just copy something. Okay, just for the sake of putting in some text. So let's say I change the abstract. Abstract with whatever random word I found, random text I found on the internet. So I want you guys to change the abstract into some, maybe if you have your proposal, or you have some paragraph, I want you guys to change the abstract as well. So you have this slot or this column, this backslash begin abstract and backslash end abstract. This is where you're going to put your abstract. So I'm just going to replace it with, okay, this random text I found on the internet. Okay, I'm not going to compile yet because I want to focus on the referencing. Okay, so if you have changed your abstract, you can put something else, some other like paragraph, like from your articles or from your CE report. Okay, but now I want to focus more on the referencing. Okay, so I think my introduction, I don't have any references yet, only in my other paragraph. So introduction, okay, just introduction, nothing. Okay, introduction, okay. Another important thing, backslash section. So how do you actually generate, like after abstract, how do you actually generate the subheading, introduction, like preliminaries, main work, conclusion, okay. So usually where each section, introduction or whether it's background, we're going to have this backslash section, conclusion, for example, backslash section, maybe future work, something like that. So in this case, I have backslash section introduction. I'm just talking about the introduction of the paper. And then only in this part, existing work or preliminaries, only under this heading, I'm actually going to start putting some references. So my first reference, I have this guy, Chenglong 2016. And I put backslash site. So it's backslash site, Chenglong 2016. And when I compile, it's going to appear as this number 1 here. And it also it comes with a hyperlink. Because why it comes with a hyperlink? Because the guys who made this LaTeX template, they already made it such that you also have a hyperlink. So when I click on one, this first reference guy appears, Chenglong Liu, 2016. Okay, so where are all these references? I put backslash site Chenglong 2016, but where is this Chenglong 2016? It's at the very bottom here. At the very bottom, okay, backslash, no, not here. Oh, backslash. Future work. Okay, so I have this at the bottom after reference after the very last result section. I have this dedicated column. So there is a function inside LaTeX. It's called bbtem /bbtem. So every reference, when you're using LaTeX, every reference you have to give it a name. That is a bit of a maybe a bit of a hassle. Maybe if you use EndNote or all these other Zotero, okay, you don't have to do that. But in LaTeX, every paper that you read, if you want to cite it, if you want to put it in your bibliography, if you want to put it in your reference, you want to do an in-text citation, you have to give it a name. So this paper from International Journal of Distributed Sensor Network, for example, this paper, I gave it a name. The name I gave it is Chenglong 2016. Okay, and then in this bbtem is going to, this is where at the bottom of the article, where you put all the information about the author's name of that journal, where you put the title of that journal, and also the volume, the number. There's a few ways of doing this, but in this template, I just put everything at the bottom of the page, all the references at the bottom of the page. And then I put /bbtem Chenglong 2016. So this tells LaTeX, Chenglong, whenever I put /site Chenglong, I'm going to call this reference, meaning that I'm referring to this reference. So the information about this reference, I've already put the author's name, Chenglong Liu, Difei Wu, title of the paper, title of the journal. /emph just means that I'm doing an italics. That's why I'm generating this italic title of the journal, volume number, volume 12, number 6, page number, year. So every journal article that you use, you need to create a name, and you also need to give the information about the journal article, the title, the volume, somewhere in that LaTeX. I put everything at the bottom. I think like maybe Kak Asmarani, maybe they have a different way of doing it, but I noticed like for beginner, I think this is quite easy. Okay. Then I have these other guys as well. Goldberg 2018, Hari Krishnan 2017, Vikramantane 2018, Sri Lankan, Mukherjee, Seungki, Peng Hui, Carlos. So I've already defined all the information about these papers, and I've also given them a name. So you can think of it as a variable. Each paper you're creating it as a variable, and then you can, or it's like a reference, and you can invoke it later. So how I call these references, how I generated in-text citations, I did /site Chenglong 2016, and then /site Goldberg 2018, /site Vikramant, okay, and then /site Mukherjee 2016. So that is how I generated all these references. That is how the references is being generated. So when you do this, when you do bbtem begin, okay. So this is This is a bit confusing. So I have this backslash if false backslash try. This means that the text which I'm not using, I'll just delete it so it's not confusing. So this is when you do backslash the bibliography 99. This is the format of the referencing given by the journal. I don't need to put numbers because LaTeX already know this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And then the bibliography. So you can think of it as like programming. Medscape, okay, and then backslash end document. Okay, so what I want to do, okay, well, I'll just a quick exercise with you guys. Let's say now I don't want to cite Cheng Long 2016. I want to cite some random paper from the internet. So, okay, of course, like if you're author, maybe I will choose. Who should I choose? Ikmal, okay. Any of you already published papers? Can I Google for your papers? Arif, okay, we have Arif Rashidan. Arif has a paper, nice paper. Rashidan, IEEE. Rashidan, IEEE. Energy assisted robotic arm. Okay, let's say I want to cite Arif's paper, published in IEEE Access. Good journal. Okay. So you always see, okay, Arif Rashidan, so this is, okay, he's here today, so we can all say hi to him. Tag here, so cite this. So if you go to cite this, you can see, oh, there's plain text, bib text, RIS, refworks, okay, fine. So if you, maybe I don't have time to cover about big text, but I'll just copy this information. And I will create a reference inside this document citing Arif. Okay, so let's say I don't want Arif. I don't want Cheng Long. I want Arif. So I don't want Cheng Long. I want Arif. So I'm going to create a new. Okay, I will create a new name for this article. I'll call it Rashidan. What year is it published? Arif is shy.
21.
31, okay. 21. 2021. It's 2021. New blog. Maybe who was the authors? And Arif Rashidan, comma, and then who else do we have? Sharona Imsidek. This okay, Naim Sidek. Who else? Okay, and Anslina Yusuf. Alright. So title, I'll use this title, technology assisted emotion records. And many of you are working on like special needs, autism, because I think that these topics are gaining a more interest in the research community, and also because I think partly because of all this SDG as well, sustainable development goals, inequalities. So here, I'm changing the title. The name of the journal usually is in italics. That's why you have backslash EMPH. So I'm going to put this as IEEE Access. IEEE Access. Volume. What's the volume? Volume is, okay, volume somewhere down here. Volume 9. Okay, volume 9. Number, I think, I'm not sure if it has a number. Volume 9. 9, 2021. Pages. Did you see the pages? Okay, 33638 until 33653. Change that as well. Right. So I have created a label. Rashidan 2021 means that it's the paper with the title Technology Assisted Emotion Recognition of Autism Spectrum Disorder. The title of the journal is IEEE Access, Volume 9. And then what else do I have? Okay, I think that's complete. That completes all information. So let's say now I don't want that guy, that previous guy that I cited. Okay, I want to cite Arif now. Malaysia first. Malaysian papers. Muslim Ummah first. Okay, I don't want to cite Western guys. my racist. Okay, so I'm gonna go Rashidan. I'm going to use this label, and I'm going to go back to number one. Number one here, where I cited Cheng Long. Okay, now I don't want Cheng Long. I want Arif. I want Arif's paper. Okay, maybe you get error. If you get error, never mind. We'll find out what's the source of the error. So what I want to see, what I expect to see is that when I do that, okay, backslash site, you're still going to have number one, but rather than Cheng Long, we're going to see Arif, and we're going to see the journal is IEEE access. Okay, so Bismillah, let's run this. All right, what have we changed? Okay, now we can see, okay, Arif Rashidan, Naim Siddiq Azlan Yusof, okay, technology assisted emotion recognition for autism spectrum disorder, a systematic literature review. Journal is IEEE Access, volume 9, 2021, page number. And there's also a hyperlink as well. If I go back to number one here, I go back to number one, the hyperlink also would have changed. So existing work, number one, when I click on it, it goes to Arif Rashidan. So that's how you put in references. So there's more than one way of doing this, but I think this is the easier way for beginners. And if you don't have many references, if you just have up to 20, if you have like 100 references, this is this is a slightly different way of doing it. You have to use BibTeX. Here I'm just compiling everything inside one document. So that's how we put in references, in-text citation and references. Okay. So next, I'm going to move along to figures. How do we put inside figures inside this document? Let's say you have a figure in a .png file, you have a figure in a .jpeg file. How do you actually put those figures into LaTeX? So we're going to deal with figures. We're going to learn how to do equations as well. And then I think that will conclude our webinar today. So before we move along, okay, does it make sense to you? How do we put references inside this LaTeX? Was it clear to you?
Can you give for BibTeX? Very briefly.
Sorry, Rafi.
Can you give brief idea of BibTeX? How can we use BibTeX?
Okay, how can you use BibTeX? Okay, so we can use BibTeX. Okay, so if you use BibTeX, okay, if you go to here and then use BibTeX, let's see, cite this. So the publisher, if it's Taylor and Francis, if it's Wiley, usually they also give you they give you the plain text referencing. They also give you BibTeX. BibTeX is a file. Same thing, the file. You have the file name. This one, like for example, like just now for the paper, just now we gave our own name. Okay, Arif Rashidan 2021. Okay, same thing. When you are using BibTeX, the publisher already gives like a name or a number. We call it an ID for that paper. In this case, IEEE has allocated the ID for 9359753. So same thing. So what's going to happen when you have when you are using BibTeX? You're going to have like one separate file. Like here, you have template one.text. But if you are using BibTeX, you're going to have one more file like this template underscore one.bib. So .bib is where you're going to copy all of this information. You're going to have one separate file just for references only. Just for references only. .bib. You're going to save it together with your other files, and then same thing. You're going to backslash cite whatever label there was for that article. So BibTeX. The only difference between BibTeX and what we did just now. Here I compiled all the information about the authors and the referencing inside the same file where I had my text. In BibTeX, you're just going to have all of this copied separately in one separate file. It's called .bib. But how you invoke it is still the same, backslash cite, and then using the label that they have given us.
We have to call the file, I think, in the main
Yes.
template.
In the yes, in the main template, somewhere in the top. Somewhere at the top, you also have to call it as well. Yes, dot bit.
File name dot bit.
There's one more. Yes. Yeah, you need for thesis. You will need to use BibTeX. It's true.
Dr. Jazlan, the big is it like Mendeley software that we call up the citation?
BibTeX is totally macam different. Okay, do I have a BibTeX file? I don't think I have a example template of a BibTeX. BibTeX is something like let's see, file new. Can I make a new one? Okay, BibTeX. Okay, maybe I can just show you example how we type BibTeX. Like you take this, like all of this, and then okay, maybe you copy it somewhere. All this you copy somewhere. Okay, then you save it as a file, save as .bib. Okay, BibTeX databases. Okay, when you save it as a .bib, then it's going to look something like this. So it works like Mendeley, it works like all these other softwares because you're storing all your references inside one one place. But the difference is like every reference needs to have its label as well. Its label. So you do have a separate file, but it's a different file. It's .bib. But it's kind of similar, but not how you arrange the information is different.
Or the BibTeX is not another separate program that we need to install. It is another type of document that we save in different format. Is it?
Yes, it's just another type of document. Yes, it's not a separate program. It's a separate document, but your LaTeX, it will retrieve all the information about the references from your BibTeX file. So it's like when you submit your thesis or when you submit your journal article, you're going to submit template one .text, and then you also submit .bib file as well. So all the information about your references are going to be stored inside the .bib file.
I see. Okay,
Because
clear.
this template, I didn't have the .bib thing mentioned. Maybe okay, I'll send you guys one example of a template that has a BibTeX file as well. This one I just compile everything in one. Right. So any other question? Anything that's unclear? Good. Okay, so if all good, I just want to show you how we can proceed by adding figures. How can we add figures into this file that we have? So we already know how to type text into our template. We already know how to adjust the names. We already know how to adjust the title. So next thing is, how do we add figures, for example? So I have some kind of block diagram, or maybe I have this figure. Okay, how do I include this figure inside my LaTeX document? So I can, what we do, okay, we can just begin something. Okay, we have this option begin figure and end figure. So I have this document. So same thing as well. Each figure has its own label as well. So each reference has its label. Each figure also has its label as well. So this figure, because when we have any figure inside our thesis or inside our journal article, we want to cite it as well. We want to say as shown in figure 1, as shown in figure 2. So that also how we do that is we give the figure a label. So in this case, I just label fig boat, big boat 2 because I copied from another template. So this is my PNG file. I took this from a PNG file. So it's here. So my PNG file asp.png. So this is my figure. Yes, p.png. This one. This is my PNG file. I want to include this PNG file inside my LaTeX document. So what I need to do, I need to begin figure, end figure. So we have already, somewhere at the top, we have already installed the package, I think graphics, I think. So this package is the package used to install, to insert all these figures into the LaTeX document. So we have, okay, so I have this one here. Okay, so figure, I've given this figure the label fig boat. Maybe I can just call it boat as well. I can just call it maybe ASP. I'll just call it ASP then. ASP 1. Okay, SP1. Let's call this label SP2. So it's basically every figure needs to have its own name so that you can do an in-text citation. You can call it around figure label ASP1. So I adjust you can adjust backslash include graphics means you can adjust the width, you can adjust the height. Okay, figure1.png. So okay, I call this figure1. Okay, sorry, not this one. One. Changing this one ASP. Okay. So put 2. So I'll just call this as ASP1. I'll just give this figure a new name, ASP1. ASP label ASP1. So label, that is what the name that we give for this figure. So I'm calling this figure here ASP1 accelerometer sensor package. So it's a PNG file. Okay, so if I run this, what do I get? If I run this, okay. So in the text, how it looks, accelerometer data acquisition. Okay, so it comes as figure 2. How how, how the template also inserts a hyperlink? It's because we have given this image or this figure, we have given it a label. So that's how it's actually able to know. Okay, if we have like figure 1, if we self-define our figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, then if we add in more figures and we delete some figures, then you're going to lose that sequence. So that's why in LaTeX, our practice is that we give the figure a label or we give the figure a name. In this case, I call the figure ASP1. So whenever I want to refer to that figure, I just put in figure backslash ref ASP1. So then it will give me the figure together with the hyperlink. So if I want to change this figure, for example, rather than ASP, I want to choose one of these other figures. Maybe I have this other one, paths as well. Paths. Okay, I have maybe a smaller image, road division. Okay. So let's say I want to swap the figure. Okay, I found out, oh, let's say I put the wrong figure in that area. I want to put another figure, the correct figure. So I have this other figure, road division.png. So let's say I swap that. Rather than asp.png, I put it as road division.png. Can I change this? Can I change this road division? Will I get some error? Road might get error. Png. Let's compile this again. All right. So I managed to change the image just now to this image. So that's how we can change, we can insert figures. We actually have a small line of code, begin figure, end figure. You can use this include graphics feature to adjust the width, the height of the image. And then each figure needs to be given a label. That's how we do the in-text citation, or that's how we refer to the figure in our paragraph. So I'll change this back to its original name. Okay, that's how basically how we insert figures. So the last thing I want you to discuss with you guys is maths. How can we include symbols? How we can include formulas inside our LaTeX document? Okay. Before that, so far inserting figures, is it okay for you? Figures and referencing, is that clear to you? You might need some practice as well, more hands-on. But do you get the idea of inserting figures, and also referencing? As well. I'll just wrap this up quickly. Maybe Friday you guys are busy, so let's move on with maths. How do we include maths as well? So we've learned. Okay, so maths. Okay, if you want to, let's say you have some paragraph that you want to have some notes, but you don't want those notes to be included in the final document. One thing you can do, you can put if false /if false and then /phi. So this means when you put /if false and /phi, what's going to happen is that that block of text is not going to be included inside your final LaTeX document when you generate the PDF. So I'm just going to delete this. So how can we include maths inside our mathematical symbols inside our LaTeX document? So okay, this is what there's more than one way of doing this, but this is a equations for polynomial curve fitting. So what I did was I generated this 10 polynomial equations. So it's like y subscript 1s, and then I have my numbers, then I have s to the power of 60, then I have minus 0.003 s to the power of 2. Okay, and then how we do that? Okay, we can use this feature begin align and also end align. Okay, so if you notice here, I have this what we call this ampersand and symbol ampersand. So what this does is this ampersand. If in LaTeX, like maybe in Word you have that problem, the equal signs they are not the same. Like in this case, you can see all the equal signs they are straight. How I did this is that I use this ampersand equal to ampersand equal to. This is going to make sure that all of the equal signs are the same. If you have the many mathematical equations that you need to write below each other, and then if you notice here, okay, y underscore begin align and end align. So I have y underscore 1 and then s. So underscore, this is a subscript. So when I put y underscore 1, that means 1 is a subscript for my maths, my mathematical formula. Then I have 0.00, okay, s to the power of 60. So we have s, and then this I think same with Excel as well. We have to the power, and then inside the parentheses you have 60. So that's how I generated s to the power of 60. Okay, because this equation actually has many more elements or many more entries, so I have backslash dots. It's going to generate these 3 dots here. Then I have s to the power of 2, and then plus 0.00003 s. Okay, then I have this double backslash. So this double backslash, what it's going to do, it's going to start a new line, and when it starts a new line, it's going to also leave a label. It is equation number 1. So I repeated that for 2, 3, 4, and 5, all the way up to 10, and then I close this with an align. So what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to try and change. Let's say y to the power of 1, change it to another number, maybe y to the power of 11. And then s to the power of 60, make it s to the power of 58. And then maybe s to the power, as the other ones, s to the power of 1. I want you guys to try and play around. Try modify these numbers and then recompile. And then just see if you get any errors. Sometimes you'll get errors. And just randomly changing some of the entries. All right. I'm just randomly changing. This is how you type. Maths, usually we have a dedicated section. So you have begin align, end align. And then if you want all the equal signs to be justified, you can have ampersand, this and symbol. So I'm going to compile again and see the changes that I did. Is it being reflected? Are there any errors? When you compile, usually you might bump into errors as well. Okay, what did I change? Okay, I changed this to 58, is there? I changed this to 48, is there? I changed the power of 1. Oh, okay, sorry. The power of 11. Okay, if it's okay, I made a small mistake here. The power of 1 and then super subscript 1, but then you still have a big one here. I forgot to put a curly braces. Okay, if you have more than like 1 digit, you have to put curly braces. So I made a small mistake. So I'm just going to correct this. I'm going to compile again. that pretty much okay. So I've modified, now it's nice, okay, y underscore 11. So I've done the maths part. So there's more than one ways of doing this. There's more tools as well. There's more libraries as well. So you can actually write symbols as well. Like you can actually do this kind of mathematics, like a sigma sign, all these Greek characters. All of that can be done in LaTeX, and also matrices. All of that can be represented in LaTeX. Also, what else? Integrals, double integral, single integral, other symbols, superscript, subscript, all of that can be done. You can do all this kind of maths inside LaTeX with all the packages that's provided to you. But for today, I only showed you the polynomials, how you can type polynomials inside LaTeX. So I think, what else? Is there anything else I want to show you? Figure profile. Okay. So I think that's all I wanted to show to you guys. I didn't want to make it very long. So there are more things that we can do with LaTeX. Given the easiest way to work with LaTeX is you have something like this. You have a template given to you by your friend or by the publisher, and then you put in your content into that template. But the key is to identify where exactly in the template you need to modify. What are the important sections? So if you see anything like, for example, begin align and align, this is where you have to modify the maths part of things. So you can replace these equations with your equations. Or for example, I can take this whole block of text. For example, let's say I want to have some maths somewhere in this other section. Let's say data acquisition. Data acquisition. Let's say I want to have it here. Okay. Let's say I want to have a mathematical equation here. I can just put it here, and I can recompile. Then my math should be somewhere here. The acquisition. Okay, and here's my maths. You can put it. You can also put maths at other parts of the article as well. So I think so. That's all I wanted to show you. I didn't want to make it very long. So I think I'll pass back to Ikmal. So any questions from the floor? Friday got Friday blues. Friday one chill, like in a while. I think yeah, just use template now. So I think we need to usahakan lah macam UIA. I think I have to tell, maybe talk to CPF Dr. Naim. We should have a latest template. Like cut us macam you already have a template. We can just use maybe we pay cut us 1,000 ke settle. Give us our template and your template, then we use upload on CPS website. Can. You cut us fisabilillah for free. Mana ada cannot fisabilillah macam minyak mahal apa. Mana ada people have expenses kan, you cannot. Yeah. I think yeah, the link I has put a Google Drive, so I want you guys download all the things that are on the Google Drive, and also I shared some slides on WhatsApp as well. I put that on Google Drive as well. Everyone excited. Everyone thinking of what nak makan apa lunch. What am I going to have for lunch? Not macam I would like to, I wish all the best for all of you in your research, whatever topics you're working on. Inshallah, I think doing a master's or PhD in a pandemic is quite challenging. So I hope things all work out.